like the Kellz, we gotta let them know. We got it with a ship for easy. We got it with a ship for easy. Whoever like the Kellz, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Good evening and welcome to EnDaZone Sports on the Diva Spivey Media Network. For those of you who recognize my face and don't know who I am, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am the DAVID, the real Ruiz, filling in for your boy Spivey this evening. And here, co-hosting the show, he's an original. We got Kellz the Truth. How you doing, Kellz?
What up? How y'all doing? What's going up?
Feeling good? Everything good today? Good.
Yeah, everything good. We got everything,
Everything good. Cool. So today there was some controversial things spoken over the last week with the WNBA with Naphessa Collier. A lot of people are giving her a lot of criticism. A lot of people love what she says, basically going after the leadership in the WNBA and the way they're running it financially and the way these refs are officiating the games. What's your take on that, Kellz?
My take is that she had a right to say what she said because the WNBA has been generating money since the inaugural season. They've been making money. In 2019, they made $102 million, and in 2024, it went up to $200 million. Also, it's also going up to $500 million in 2026. They only generate 9.3% of the revenue. I'm talking about the players. That is not a good thing. They need to go ahead and change that CBA and go and trade that CBA and give these women enough money to make it to play because they making most of their money overseas. You got these girls playing overseas. You got these girls trying to get money from endorsement, but they pay is not that great. And for the officiating, they only get them $2,500 a game. That's not great. And you see why this bad officiating are.
The bad officiating. So when you're talking how much money they made, are we talking core profit or are we just talking net sales?
We talk about core profit. It's not core profit. They made over $200 million this year, and they trying to increase it to $500 million with the likes of Caitlin Clark and Angela Ruiz balling out like they balling. They should give these women more money. And I like how Fee came out and talked about it because it needed to be talked about. So it was a great thing that she came out and said this because in the next bargaining agreement, everybody got to come together and at least get at least 12 or 13% of the revenue.
So would you say the WNBA is seeing more views since the whole Caitlin Clark, Angela Ruiz, Paige Buchers, all these up-and-coming women coming out of college that really put women's basketball really at the pinnacle of the limelight throughout the last 2 summers? Would you give them the credit for making the sport what it is today?
Yes, I give Caitlin Clark and Angela Ruiz, but the pioneers of the WNBA like Diana Taurasi and all them brought the forefront to these kids, these young ladies can make some type of profit. So yes, Caitlin Clark and Angela Ruiz has boosted the viewership of the sport and made it better for the sport. But I also have to give credit to Diana Taurasi and them from getting to that point of 200 to 102 million, so it can increase to 200 million.
Yeah, you can give it to Diana Taurasi as like and Sue Bird and all those other women, but for me, it hasn't been as entertaining as it's been the last 2 years. Even college basketball, I'm not gonna sit here in front like I watched any games before they were in the league. I think this generation of women WNBA players are really the trailblazers to actually move the league to where it needs to go.
Right.
And with that being said, they're all on rookie deals. I know she's upset with the amount of money getting paid, and some of the comments by the leadership were actually correct. Like, you got put on this stage for Caitlin Clark to earn $15 million in endorsements, but really the endorsements are coming strictly off of who Caitlin Clark is, I think, and not actually the WNBA. So, and after these rookie deals, exactly, Jimmy, they just put it on a more global platform.
Of course, it's just like the debate.
A lot of these females, of course, they're going to give credit to the veteran WNBA players, but at the end of the day, can you say Caitlin Clark plays like any other WNBA player? No, you're going to compare it to NBA players because her game isn't modeled after any other WNBA player. It's more modeled of a Steph Curry and stuff like that. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I you know who her game modeled to me? I'm gonna say exactly Diana Taurasi. If you saw Diana Taurasi play in Connecticut, and the only difference between Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark got more range. That's the only difference. She can shoot farther than Diana Taurasi. They both got the same type of fire in them. They both can dribble. They both can shoot. It's tough, but I would say Caitlin Clark's game is mirror after Diana Taurasi.
Do y'all think the committee should resign?
No, she
yet.
She just protected her shield that what she supposed to do. But for her ignorant comments, she should be like, because you do not comment on your you won't comment badly on your star players. You always give them props for bringing in the money and also the endorsement. Because without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA might not be where it is now, or Angel Reese if they want for the sponsorship that they bring in.
See, I think I agree with that. I think the reason the WNBA is where it is today is because of the upcomers, not just Caitlin Clark, Angela Reese, Paige Buchers. All of these players coming in are really, like Jimmy said, putting it on that global platform and getting people to watch. It wasn't entertaining before Caitlin Clark came with the range. It wasn't entertaining before there was that rivalry between Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark. Like, no one really cared, but you get the storyline. And she did say some harsh things, but that's the reality.
But
she had a point. I mean, it was true. Only losers complain about officiating. In any other sport, you complain about the refs, you get a fine. So she's lucky she don't walk out with a fine.
Right.
It's just the reality of this situation.
But the officiator is kind of terrible in the WNBA from a standpoint that it seems like they don't call as many fouls on the star players. They usually let the star players play, and I understand why, because you don't want them to foul out the game. They also call bad calls at the wrong time. And I'll go back to again, they only making $2,500 a game, which is an annual salary of almost $16,000 to $50,000 a year. I know a person who ref right now make that, and he reffing rec leagues. Not to say that's wrong, but he reffing rec leagues. This is the pros. So you should be able to make almost 30,000, 40,000, almost up to 100,000 a year, like most NBA. I'm not trying to compare NBA officials to WNBA officials, but they making bank, So it's like, if you want better officiating, you better pay more good pay, better officiating. If you don't pay them, then why would they? I mean, some people, they aren't human. They like, okay, I'm only getting $2,500. But the good thing about that is that the WNBA do pay for their travel expenses, the hotel rooms, and plane costs, but they still need to get paid more.
I think after the next 4 years, when these contracts are up with these superstar players that are putting it on this world platform, I think they will get paid more. I think they're pushing in the right direction, but you can't sit here and say these players got to play more when you had no idea the WNBA never produced numbers like this until they got here. Yeah, you could predict that, but you can't sit here and say what happens next year. Knock on wood, Caitlin Clark and Ruiz have career-ending injuries. Who's going to watch the WNBA? Who's going to listen to those storylines? You still got some players that. Yeah,
it's not the same. But you still got some players out there. Yeah, you still, but
it's like losing.
Unfortunately, that Juju.
It's like losing LeBron and Kobe during those years. There was no one else during that time. Once that money goes up, once they're able to establish the viewership they're establishing now, and once what they think is the buzz and the fire to go down, if it doesn't, they'll get paid what they need to get paid. As of right now, they just need to continue to put this on the platform and play at the level they need to be able to get played that. Again, this is year 2 for these superstars, and you're sitting here saying they should get more money 2 years into their contracts. That's not how any sport works. And you're not going to maybe if they restructure it, you're not going to sit here and say you deserve special treatment out of legal contracts because of what they're doing for the sport. Once they renegotiate, then we can talk. Agreed. All right, moving on. So we got an early game this weekend. Browns-Vikings, 9:30 in the morning. You waking up for that, Kellz?
Hey, it's my birthday, so I'm going to be already woke. I might be celebrating at 12.
That's if you don't party too hard the night before.
Hey, I might have to party watching, maybe watching that game, but, we'll see how that goes.
All right. So 9:30 in the morning, London. The Browns bench Joe Flacco. They're now starting Dylan Gabriel at that QB spot. Do you think this is the right time? Do you think it's too late, or do you think it's too early?
I think it was too late for me. I would have benched him after our last game. I mean, we won the Green Bay Packers game despite him. That was a lucky, thank you. That was a lucky win for us. I mean, despite the defense played well for us, but I'd have benched him way before this. Flacco is Flacco. He's 40 years old, and I understand, and he looks old. I mean, some 40-year-olds don't look old, but he looks old. Even the way his movement and his mannerism is, even his throwing motion kind of slowed down because Flacco was known to be able to throw the ball, get the ball out quickly, and it seems like he's not throwing the ball out quickly. So with Gabriel, I feel though that the game would be easier, our running game would be easier now because we can do more read option to open up lanes for Quinshon Judkins. And also, Gabriel also is fit for this system. If you really look at how he plays, this system is fit for him. If you ever watch Kevin Stefanski quarterbacks, what are they? They are mobile quarterbacks who can do bootlegs. We have not seen one bootleg this year, and that's my thing. But I feel like they should have been got Flacco out there, and Gabriel should have been a starting quarterback maybe week 3, to be honest with you.
So I'm a little on the other end of that with the whole Kevin Stefanski quarterback. I don't think we've ever seen in Cleveland a Kevin Stefanski quarterback. Deshaun Watson, he was a Haslam guy. He came out and said it. Stefanski didn't draft Baker Mayfield. So Kevin Stefanski never really got the quarterback he wanted. He never drafted a quarterback that Stefanski was like, this is my guy. This is who I want. It's always been everyone else. Yeah. Yeah, no, he wasn't a mobile QB.
Because it was more mobile. Cause I'm talking about from a standpoint that I ain't talking about running wise. I'm talking about from a standpoint that he can bootleg out. He can bootleg out.
That's all we seen.
Players, yeah, I mean that was because it could do that. But back to you said that Stefanski never had a quarterback. That he
never had his quarterback.
Right. But Casey Keenum, when they came over, that was his lightweight quarterback.
The Baker number was 2. He was the number 2. He was never his definitive starter. I did see an interview.
Question?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, don't you think Gabriel is his kind of type of quarterback?
I think this will be
like.
I think this will be the first time Kevin Stefanski has his guy in Dillon Gabriel.
Okay.
I don't think Sanders is Stefanski's guy. That's why he's still number 3 on the depth chart, which is crazy. I think that was an Andrew Berry move. But I think Dillon Gabriel is Stefanski's guy. And this is really going to show us who Stefanski is coaching-wise. Hopefully these wide receivers can catch the ball. I did see something positive, though. I was watching the Vikings press conference in London.
Mm-hmm.
O'Connell had nothing but great things to say about Dillon Gabriel and saying he was curious on how the Vikings defense was going to be able to adjust to the more mobile quarterback when they weren't able to prep. Of course, you take it 1 week at a time, but this is 3 days notice, there's a quarterback change. How do you think Brian Flores is going to play Dillon Gabriel? Is he going to tap him more contained? Because Brian Flores he runs more exotic plays. He's going to show blitz 5-6 men in the box, and then they're going to go out. How do you think Dillon Gabriel is going to react to that? And how do you think they're going to make adjustments to him?
I feel as though the Vikings, Brian Flores is going to be Brian Flores. He going to continue blitzing. Minnesota is the high blitz team at a high rate. I'm more interested in see how Kevin Stefanski go call the game, meaning going back and forth with Flores and his offensive play calling. If we come into this game plan to protect Gabriel by running the ball, getting 3-step drops, throwing the ball out, or are we going to let him swing it and hopefully the wide receiver can catch the ball? Jerry Jeudy is having an awful year this year. I think it's in his mind, but I think this will help him because now it will be more quick slants than 5-step drops and trying to go deep. I think that he is more inclined in doing the intermediate routes than going deep. That's why you got Isaiah Bond now. But just on Gabriel, I think that Brian Flores going to be him. He going to just blitz. I mean, he's a rookie quarterback, so it's going to be mixed up plays, and he just going to blitz. He going to blitz as soon as he get off the
He's rookie in the NFL, but he played, 7 years in college?
He played 6 years. He played
6 years?
Oregon
6 years in college.
Yeah,
came third in the Heisman Trophy winning.
Yeah.
So
just like Bo Nix.
And look at how Bo Nix is playing. Bo Nix had a great first season. He's still playing well. So hopefully we get that. I think Gabriel's going to get Isaiah Bond into the mix more. I would love to see more of him, especially with Tillman and Jeudy. They can't catch a cold right now. It hits them in the chest and they drop the ball. So hopefully they get Isaiah Bond in the mix. He's able to go on the deep route. He's fast. He's able to beat the one-on-ones because he's not going to have the number one guy on him. And I think the key is really getting Isaiah Bond in that mix and actually allowing Njoku to play like Njoku. It's been a quiet year. I know he's coming off of injury, but there's no reason Fannin he shouldn't be playing than Njoku when Njoku should be our number one receiving option.
Fannin was the leading receiver in college. He caught over 115 balls. So Fannin is a real deal, and I see why they drafted him. Another thing that will be interesting to see how the rotation of the ball come off of Gabriel's hand. Maybe the accuracy more will be there, and the wide receiver will catch the ball more. Maybe Flacco was not accurate enough, and in routes. They had to adjust their routes to catch the ball. But I feel that his timing would be – I would like to see his timing with the wide receivers because I know one thing for sure, Gabriel do get the ball out quicker than Flacco. So it's like when they make a cut, the ball going to be out of their hands already, and let's see how they catch the ball like that because different quarterbacks throw a different ball. Wide receivers always say that.
Yep. They need to – I think they really need to open up the field more. They need to throw it down the field. No more of these rink-dink, like check passes. Try to get your receivers open. Try to make a play down the field. No one's going to respect your passing game. They already don't respect it. The only silver lining was Judkins coming back and him playing great.
Right.
Other than that, they really need to throw the ball downfield and see what he can do. Even if they lose this game, give him the opportunity to make the plays. So that's what I want to see from Stefanski is give your rookie quarterbacks the opportunity to make the play. Even if the pocket claps, we can see Gabriel getting out of the pocket. He's not going to move like pond water, like Joe Flacco. It was dreadful watching him trying to run out of that pocket, like you said, with the play actions and the boot passes. We're going to see what happens. But I really think Stefanski is going to give Gabriel a shot to open up the field and see where he goes from there. Do you think –
me personally go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think –
I was about
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Kellz.
Well, I was about to say, I hope in the beginning I hope in the beginning that they do go downfield just to open it up, just to make it. I mean, the first play of the game, everybody knows Gabriel's arm is not strong enough, unquote. So surprise him, pass the pass, go deep. That's what I would do.
Go deep, get out of the pocket. Speaking of Cleveland sports, we have that game coming up, which is really exciting. Hopefully the Browns don't disappoint us again this Sunday like the Guardians did this week. 3 games against Detroit. We go 2-1. What do you feel about that series? Well, game 1, the 1:00 games, I think they did us dirty on the schedule, but that's a conversation for a little later. They did us dirty on the schedule. They gave us the 1:00 games. They want fans to come down to these games, and they're going to do it while everybody's at work. It's really sad. But how do you think overall the Guardians played during this Detroit series?
I feel that the Guardians played okay. I mean, I think game 3, the last game, I think Vogt pulled the pitcher too quickly. I understand what he was trying to do, but he pulled him a little bit too quickly. Our bullpen was kind of tired. Our hitting wasn't doing great the third game. And like you said, and the Guardians don't play well on these 1:00 games. I mean, I don't understand why you start these 1:00 games when everybody in Cleveland at work on a random weekday. You know, it should have been like 6:00 or 6:30, but you don't want to play us like that.
You know what it is? It's because you're Cleveland.
Right. But this series showed me that it's hard to keep on playing the same team over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it was hard I kind of figured I was mad, I was upset because the first game they lost, I was like, damn, we lost home field advantage, you know, because anything can happen now.
Dropped the first one at home.
They dropped it. So it's like, damn. But congratulations to the Guards. They did something that no other major league team in history did. Came back from a 15.5 game lead. But it's hard to be a team that you face 21 times this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Whole lot.
Including the regular season. So it's like, damn. I wish we would have played like somebody like Boston. Then we'd have had something new.
And the whole Boston Yankees thing is the reason we played those 1:00 games. In my belief, I believe that they wanted America to see that and push that narrative. I do think in the third game, Jose going for second base during that era, I know you got to risk it, but I think he should have stayed home. I think that was a mental mistake. He would have been able to give our hitters a chance to keep that momentum going off those bats after that error. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a mental error? Do you think he should have went for second base there where they reviewed the play and he was called out in the 8th and bottom of the 8th?
Me personally, I mean, I think it was not a mental error. I think he was just going on his instincts. He felt like he could go get it, and sometimes that's what happened when you just go on your instinct. If it was me, I probably would have just stayed because, like you said, the momentum was going. If you can really take the base, then don't take it. If it's not clear blue in that situation, but I understood why he was doing it. He was trying to get it so it'd be more momentum, getting into the scoring. But
he should have turned it up. It looked like he went a little slow to that second base, if I'm going to be honest. I know he's gassed this eighth inning, but it looked like he was moving in slow motion. You either haul ass or you don't run.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It was like, okay, even it's like when you driving and you see that caution light come, you better go speed up or you don't. You got that one split second to think. So he should have just hauled ass, like you say. He also got caught stealing too. When we had man, and then the dude walked. I said, "Ain't that that's man?" Garden. So I understand the aggressiveness of the play, and I get it, but sometimes you have to. I'm not mad at him for it. It ain't cost us the game, but it's just if you gonna do it, you gotta go straight for it. You gotta haul, like you said, haul ass, or don't even do it.
Where do you think this leaves the Guardians going into next season? Where do you think we stand? Do you think the Dolans will finally make a change and bring in some guys to support this team that went on this run and showed they can make it even against adversity? Or do you think we're going to see the same old thing? They're going to try to develop these young guys and they're not going to spend any money?
The Dolans. The Dolans going to still do what we do, what the Guardians did. We have great managers. Our managers are great. You went from Francona to Voigt, which was a great manager, and that's what stood in the Guardians. Because we're not going to get no big backs in here because they do not want to pay the money. For example, P. Alonso going to be out there. The first baseman. We do need a first baseman. I like CJ K, but he's young. But we need a powerful back that comes behind that we can put behind J-Ram, Ramirez, and Marzano stepped up, but they're gonna stay pat because how the season ended. But every once in a year, though, they do go out and try to make some money, pay somebody. So hopefully next year would be the year. You got to see what the revenue is, how much they made, how much they lost, and we'll go and hopefully we could get at least one. If we could get one bat in here, the bat behind. Between Marzano and Ramirez, that is a powerful bat. That's why I hated when they traded Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor would have been a perfect person right here now.
Yeah, but the thing about Naylor, he was streaky. I do agree here with the comment that they need to put a salary cap on MLB. It's pay to win right now. That's what it is. You pay, you win. If you don't pay, well, good luck. Every once in a while, you get that Cinderella story. But if you're not putting out the billions at this point to pay these players, it's hard to compete with like the Yankees and the Dodgers and these teams that are giving people these super max contracts. Do you think – the Mets, exactly. Do you think our manager did enough to win Manager of the Year again?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You think you'll see it back to back?
Yeah, he did a what other manager in Major League will have a young team come back from a 15-game hole to win the division? Not to make the playoff, but win a division. And also have the type of batting that we have. We are not a home run hitting team. We are not a batting average team. We are a streaky baseball team. If things are going right, we can hit, and then we'll go in the swoon. He's the only manager I know that could go from winning 15 in a row to losing 10. So I feel as though he should be the Manager of the Year.
Yeah, so I'm going to piggyback off something you said a little bit ago when you said Josh Naylor. You think this would be a good spot for him? My thing with Josh Naylor, the comparison I give Josh Naylor isn't even a MLB comparison. I compare him to J.R. Smith.
Okay.
He was, like you said, streaky. You took the words right out of my mouth, and too streaky, and he wasn't streaky at the right times. We would
exactly
when we needed him to hit, he wasn't there.
Right.
We knew Quan played well, but we knew he wasn't going to have the same season he had last year. I think that was a little bit of an anomaly, even though he played great. So where do you see us starting next season? Do you think we're going to continue on this hot streak going in, or you think we're going to see the same season start off slow and then towards the end after the All-Star break make the run for the playoffs?
We're gonna start off slow. That's the Guardians' MO. I told Spivey that they were gonna come back and win the division because I knew how it is, because that's how the Guardians are. The Guardians are who they are. They start off slow. May, whatever the season started, May and April, they don't hit as much. If you notice, they don't hit. J-Ram be in the slump. Everybody hitting under 200. And then the pitching, we stay close because of our pitching. They can develop. I give the guards great credit because they can develop some pitchers. You know, say I can't even slide, pitch well. You know,
the Guardians have one of the best farm systems, if not the best farm system in Major League Baseball. We just farm players for everyone else.
Right. We can't never develop batters, hitters.
Right.
You know, but we do develop when they will go on somewhere and hit better. But I think they're gonna start off like that last. They're gonna start off this year, and then around August, September, they're gonna start catching up.
Yeah, we need to, like everyone in the comments is saying, we need to stop with the slow starts. We need to start winning games early. Even when we went on that streak, 2 years ago, that winning streak, it was like 16 games, 17 games, something crazy, or 20-something games. Yeah.
We went on a 22-game winning streak.
Yeah, we went on that crazy streak for what? For nothing, because we stayed. That was the only time we were hot all season. And we blew it at the end. It doesn't help that you have teams like the Yankees, for instance. It's not an excuse, but any team with special bats and special license and these test bats, like this is the only team that can use this test bat. That's a whole bunch of BS.
The torpedo bat.
Yeah, the torpedo bats, that's crazy. If you're gonna test something, allow the whole league to test it. And they said they had like NASA engineers and all of these people help design these bats, and the Yankees are the only team allowed to use them. The only team, I think it's a 5-year contract where the Yankees are the only team allowed to use these bats.
Okay.
So I think this is the second season they've been using these bats.
I think this is the second season.
The second season they used.
I think Aaron Judge used the torpedo bat.
Yep.
I think Glenn Stanton used the torpedo bat. Well, that's against the law, though. I mean, I don't. Judge already hit home runs. You try to get him a bat that can speed up his swing. That's crazy.
And those things happen, yet the Guardians get accused of creating a wind tunnel because they made renovations on their stadium.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole lot of give and take BS.
Right. If you're not cheating, you're not winning. So get all type of advantage that you need.
All right, moving on. Hey, you sound like Tom Brady right now. I'm not trying to hear that. We got Belichick over here.
Nobody was 7 NFL rings.
Oh, man. Speaking of Brady, we got a jam-packed week in the NFL coming up. We got a whole bunch of games coming. We already previewed the Vikings-Browns a little bit. Let's go down the list a little bit of these games and really get down to the nitty-gritty. What we didn't talk about this Browns-Vikings game is who do you think is going to take this game? What do you think is going to happen?
Since my birthday, the Browns going to win. The Browns have won every birthday gift. They gave me my birthday gift, every birthday gift. So Browns winning.
And Browns money line. Put the house on it via Kellz the Truth.
Right, put the house on it. You will never fail. But don't come after me if y'all lose. I just
How do you think Carson Wentz is going to play against the Browns in our secondary?
Carson Wentz gonna be under fire, under pressure. The only good protector he got right now is Darisaw on the Myles Garrett side. But I think Short's gonna be moving Myles to the other side sometimes and putting other people on the other.
So I ain't putting no house on it.
But he gonna be under a lot of pressure from the Browns front four. Mason Graham and Malik Collins gonna be able to stop the run. This is gonna be a tough game for Jordan Mason. So they're gonna put a lot of emphasis on Carson Wentz to throw the ball quicker. And hopefully we can get some type of turnover from doing that. Put our hands on, back the ball up. I'm very interested to see how they go do Justin Jefferson, though. How they go check him. If they go have
it really depends on where he lines up, because when he's on, if he plays the wideout, they throw him all over the field. When he's the wideout, it's going to be Denzel Ward. It has to be you put your best on best. But if he lines up in the slot, that's Greg Newsome's territory. I think they'll switch up, maybe throw another guy at him. You got to. But if the pressure's on Carson Wentz, who knows? He might not be the Carson Wentz he used to be able to make those balls under pressure. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns also. Even though my brain's telling me the Vikings, my heart and Kell's birthday is telling me the Browns. It's telling me the Browns.
Don't put this on me.
I want to see a similar situation when Tyrod Taylor got hurt. Baker Mayfield came in. We thought the team wasn't that good, yet Baker made it better, and hopefully Gabriel can go in there and give the Browns a victory on Sunday morning so we can have the rest of our Sunday, have a positive vibe. We're not pissed off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's go Browns.
Let's go Browns. Only because it's Kell's birthday.
Exactly.
The second game we got on the list this week, Jets Cowboys. How we feeling about this, Kellz? We got Justin Fields back. You're going with the Cowboys? Why?
With the boys. For the simple fact they running game is doing good, and the Jets running defense, they missing Quentin Williams on that defensive line. And also it seems like Dak and Pickens is getting some type of chemistry. Now, this is going to be a high-scoring game because Dallas can't play defense worth a lick. And Justin Fields is a scary quarterback because, you can look up and he can run for a 50-yard touchdown and throw for another 50-yard with Garrett Wilson. But I'm picking the Cowboys on the strength that Dak and Javonte Williams is going to be, and George Pickens will score the ball, will score a lot against the Jets defense. If it's going to be on soft, going to be on Pickens.
On Garrett, on Pickens. I am going with the Jets. And the reason I'm going with the Jets is because I read a stat earlier that I think Justin Fields wants to break. And he's never won a game in his entire career where the opposing team has scored 21 points or more. I think this is going to be a shootout. And I think Justin Fields has something to prove after being hurt in concussion protocol. And let's be honest, I don't trust Dallas. Even on games they're supposed to win, they don't. I just don't trust them. Their logo's a star. They think they're America's team.
Yeah, man, Dallas or New York?
Is that I got New York winning.
Okay, is that Dallas or at New York?
I think it's Jets at Cowboys.
Okay.
If that's what I read correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so I think with the shootout, Justin Fields is going to want to break that stigma that he can't win games where the opponents score more than 21 points. Right. And in this NFL, you have to win games like that. This is a high-scoring league. The rare teams can hold offenses to 10 points. We don't see that often. We're lucky the Browns can do that, but we haven't seen that last couple of weeks. But it happened against one of the best teams in the NFL. Well, allegedly, that's where the Packers were there. So moving on, Giants, Saints. We got Jackson Dart starting. We got Scatterboo really coming through and rushing his way into his zone. How do you feel about that game? Do you think the Saints can do enough to stop the rookies from balling out, or do you think the experience is going to be a little too much for this young team?
I got the Saints. Spencer Rattler is playing better than what people think. Kendra Miller is looking like he's trying to take Kamara's job. But I'm taking the Saints because I think the Saints offense is a little bit better than what Jackson Dart is putting. Without Malik Neighbors now, it's going to be tough for him to throw the ball a little bit to the receivers, to Slayton, and maybe they bring in Jalen Hyatt maybe. But Scatterboo is a great runner. Is going to have to take some of that pressure off of Jackson Dart. But I'm going with the Saints.
So I disagree a little bit. I got the Giants winning. The reason I got the Giants winning, I know Malik Neighbors is a huge issue that they don't have him, but let's look at the last couple of weeks. Malik Neighbors had one good game. He had, 2 catches last game, or 1 catch last game before he got hurt. The week before that, he had 2 catches. He's really been a non-factor. Given he's drawing attention, I won't say he's a complete non-factor, but at the end of the day, he wasn't really producing the last couple games for me to say he's going to be a true huge factor. And Jackson Dart went in there, won the game without Malik Neighbors.
He only threw for 111 yards.
Doesn't matter. Look at what Jalen Hurts is throwing for, and he's winning games. You got to play smart football.
But Jalen Hurts got NFL championship defense. Right now, the Giants defense is not NFL. I mean, you got 3 number 1 draft picks on that defensive line, and Brian Burns, Kevin Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. And right now they are not producing on the defensive end. But I can see why you say the Giants, Jackson Dart is the infusion of that youthfulness, and sometimes youth is naive and they play better. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see that.
I really like Jackson Dart. I wanted the Browns. I wanted the Browns to draft him. Not gonna lie, when New York traded up, they got Jackson Dart. I thought that was a great pick. I was hoping the Browns went after him, to be honest. Next, we got the Raiders and the Colts. This game's up in the air for me. I think it's really a flip of the coin in my eyes. I'm gonna take the Colts.
I agree with you.
I think Daniel Jones, it's a situational thing where he's playing great. You got Tyler Warren playing like a true number 1 option on that team. Jonathan Taylor has revitalized himself compared to his last couple seasons since he was RB1, and he's been playing great football. What do you think are some of the key factors that are going to lead the Colts to victory, since you agree?
I feel as though Daniel's going to have to play. I mean, not Daniel. Dang, I forgot the quarterback name. JT going to have to run the ball.
Jonathan Taylor?
You said, Josh Taylor going to have to run the ball well. The Colts, the Colts. You said the Colts, right?
I said the Colts.
You said, okay.
I said the Colts.
JT, and I forgot the doggone. I had a brain for it. The quarterback.
Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones. I said Justin Daniels. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's why I had a brain for it. I'm like, dang, okay. Daniel Jones going to have to do what he's been doing to continue on this win streak. I mean, they lost last week, but on this high horse they on right now. The defense got to play a little bit better. Geno Smith will cough up the ball, so because he's prone to throw an interception. So that's the key to the Colts winning. Turn over Geno and run the ball with JT.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Bowers wasn't seen on the practice field.
His knee,
which is their number one option. So for that reason, I'm also going Colts. Now we got this game could be very interesting. Our next game on the list, Dolphins Panthers.
This is a toss up because both offenses not playing well.
They're just bad.
Yeah, they're not playing well. So if I have to say the better defense, I'm going with Miami. I'm going with Miami because they got the better run game with Archain and Gordon. Tuba Hubbard is hurt this game, so he out. So we gonna see Rico Dowdle. But I think Miami will win because they got the better defense.
Okay, I see. Our man here got the Panthers, but I'm also going with Miami. And the reason I'm going with Miami, it's simply the best players on each team. The best players on Miami are simply just better than the players on the Dolphins. Yeah. Like Achan's better. They don't have Waddle is the number 2, and he's still better than every receiver on that team, in my opinion, right now. You can disagree with me, but I think Waddle's
Tech getting there though. Tech is getting there. I mean, it's up to Bryce Young.
He's young, but again, that's another thing. Do you take Tua or Bryce Young? You flip the coin. You don't know. They're both playing terrible. I think Miami has more weapons.
But as we say this, Carolina gonna go out and score 40 points.
That'd be some shit right there. Next game on the list, Broncos Eagles. Will the Broncos defense finally put an end to what the Eagles have been able to do? And that's going undefeated this season? Or will the Eagles reign supreme with only throwing for 100 yards and AB only getting one catch for like 14 yards? What do you think is going to happen this game?
I think it's going to be a shootout. But I'm going with the Broncos. Philadelphia is playing on the edge too much. You know, they won the last game because of block kicks and fumbles and turnovers like that. So I think you can't win like that every game. I mean, even though they 20 and 1 in the last 21 games, that's absurd how they playing. But I'm picking the Broncos. I think the Broncos defense gonna step up, and AJ Brown gonna have a hard time if Patrick Surtain is on him. So and you know, Saquon ain't running the ball well this year, but he can wake up anytime. But
I'm going against the grain. I'm going to go with the Eagles. They simply haven't given me a reason to think they're going to lose yet, since they haven't lost. And that's really it. Great offensive line. I think this might be, even though they're allowing very few passing yards, which is the Denver Broncos, I think this might be the game where the wide receivers are going to earn some respect because they need to. They don't earn both of them, honestly. The passing game in total. Jalen Hurts' passing game, not even the wide receivers. I'm not blaming the wide receivers for the ball not getting thrown to them.
Right. So
Jalen Hurts has to really air the ball out. Once Jalen Hurts starts doing that, we'll see a better rush game from Saquon Barkley. I think a lot that has to do with Barkley's numbers is the pass game is non-existent. They're not going to run Saquon the same they did last year with the most touches in the NFL. It was a crazy stat. But I think they need to start airing the ball out, and I think this is the game they do it.
Okay.
Next on the list, we got Texans, Ravens.
I'll go with this.
You got to. You almost have to. No Lamar Jackson. That is huge. Our boy Spivey knows this enough. Derrick Henry hasn't been having the best season. He's been fumbling the ball every game, something we've never seen him do in his career. He's dropping the ball with no Lamar Jackson. I don't think their wide receivers are that good on that team. I know Zay Flowers is having a decent year, and you got Bateman. Andrews has been he's decent, but I don't see them being able to stop the Texans. and I don't think they're going to be able to score on the Texans. I think this is going to be bad.
The reason why I picked the Texans is because that defense is terrible right now. And they missing their best linebacker in Smith. Marlon Humphrey ain't playing, or Jair Alexander ain't playing. That's the reason why I picked the Texans. They defense. So we're going to see how C.J. Stroud play.
All right, next we got Bucs Seahawks. Honestly, I got the Bucs. I love the way they're playing this year. Even though they don't got a lot of weapons and they lost Bucky Irving, they don't have Mike Evans. I don't believe in Sam Darnold at all. I know Jackson Smith is out there balling right now, but I'm going to take the Bucs. I think Baker's going to be able to put them back in the win column. I think we're going to see a big game from Ibuka, and I think Rachaad White is going to play decent because he's going to attempt to earn that starting role back, even though he's not going to get it. We're going to want to see big games from. We're going to want to see a big game from him too.
I'm taking this game is in Seattle, and Seattle played really well in Seattle. But I'm taking the Bucs too, Tampa, because of how Baker is playing. You got Godwin back, so they're gonna take away. They're gonna try to take Godwin out of the game, even though Ibuka is the best player. But I think they're gonna put, because Godwin can change game. This was Rachaad White trying to get back some type of touches. He's not going to get the starting, but he could get some touches back.
Yeah,
this could be also game take for him to lead Tampa Bay to go somewhere else to be a lead running back. So I'm picking Tampa.
Gotcha. Next on the list, I feel like I don't even have to say this. We can brush past this one quickly. Lions, Bengals. I think everyone's on the same page here, and the Lions are going to cook them. Next on the list, we got Commanders, Chargers. Jaden Daniels back. Who you got winning?
Commanders. The Chargers' offensive line is decimated. They have nobody on their offensive line.
True. I'm gonna go Chargers. I know their offensive line's a little rough, but I do think that it's going to be a game or two before Jaden Daniels can come out and really get used to not having his number one and Terry McLaurin there either. He's going to really have to utilize Deebo Samuel. And the running game there's a little spotty right now. So I have some questions about the Commanders' offense. Yeah. So I have some questions about the Commanders' offense where I just think the Chargers have a little more in the tank than the Commanders do. Next on the list, this is a crazy game simply because of how both teams are playing well, but one team is surprising me a little bit with the way they're playing. I got Bills, Patriots. Patriots I got the Bills too, but the Patriots are shocking me. They're putting up a lot of points. So I think they could be an upset, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Bills got it.
Playing well.
Yep. Last game on the list, we got Chiefs, Jags. I got Kansas City. I don't think the Jaguars are going to pull it out. I think Kansas City has solidified themselves before this season gets too out of hand for them.
I don't know if you could call this an upset, but I'm going with the Jags.
I think it's a little bit of an upset.
I like how the Jazz defense is playing. They making teams turn over the ball. I like how Lynn Cohen is lightweight getting Terran Lawrence together. He lightweight. Terran Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence. Why I say
Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence getting stuff together. And Travis Etienne is coming back on his own. The Jazz are going to win the game.
Jags got to get their wide receivers involved. BTJ has been silent. He's been silent. So we'll see if Trevor Lawrence can make that happen. With that being said, that was our pickups. Now, after week 4, who do you think is the best team in the NFL?
The Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills is the best team in the NFL right now. They better offensive-wise than the Philadelphia Eagles. Their defense is very solid. They lead the league in rushing with James Cook at 163 yards per game. The wide receivers are playing well. Keon Coleman needs to step up a little bit more. but you still got secure in the slot. And sometimes you will see Elijah Moore. You remember Elijah Moore from the Browns,
right?
So
right. You see flashes,
right? Palmer, but they are the best team right now. They playing well, and they got the best quarterback in the league right now. And
Josh Allen. I agree with that. I do also think it's the Bills, simply because the way Josh Allen battles against adversity, even when he was down in the Baltimore game, the ability to come back and win these games by a noticeable margin and make it look easy on high caliber defenses and offenses is something that doesn't get talked about enough. He gets overshadowed by Lamar's perfect QB rating and the fact that Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. But right now, this season, who's Patrick Mahomes? Right now, this season, Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball, and Lamar Jackson can't win a game. We can't win a big game, and that's been the problem with Lamar Jackson his entire career. Is when it comes to big games, he can't pull it out.
You can't win.
So I agree with the Bills. Moving on, we're a couple weeks away from the NBA season starting. I'm really excited to see what our Cleveland Cavaliers do. Coming into this new season, I want to hear what your power rankings look like, your top 5 teams going into this NBA season, and who do you think is going to turn some heads maybe this season?
My top 10, my top 5 is OKC, which, they're the defending champ, the Cavaliers, the Denver Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and I wrote it, and I said the Nuggets, the Knicks. I got OKC, Cavs, Knicks, Nuggets, and the Timberwolves is my top 5 teams.
OKC, Cavs, Knicks, Nuggets, Timberwolves.
Yes.
We have a lot of similar teams, as you know. I have OKC as my number 1 team. I have Cavs number 2. I have Denver. I have the Timberwolves, but I can't count out the Los Angeles Lakers. I will always put them as long as LeBron's on the court. They always have to be high in the power rankings as long as he's playing at a high level. And the way Luka looks this offseason, it's going to be something we haven't seen. Yeah, the Rockets did get KD, but
I think the Rockets gonna start off slow because they got to get their chemistry together, and the coach will have to get a system that's good for Durant. Plus, they lost Van Fleet, so that's gonna be a big loss for them because they don't have a true guard, true point guard.
Right. Another thing is what I like to see. One of the biggest knocks on our Cavaliers team, which was our big man Mobley, saying he was too skinny. I don't know if you've seen him this offseason. Looks like he put on about 20 pounds of muscle.
Okay, he needed.
And he needs it. And I hear nonsense. I hate talking to regular fans because they're like, oh, you think that's going to make him slower? Or no, like he's going to move exactly the same, if not even faster. He's going to be able to bully the other big men in there the way we need him to. And he's going to be able to spread the floor. Also, I think OKC might be at the top of this list for years to come, especially what they did in the draft. They got a bunch of huge draft picks coming up in the first round, and they're just going to keep moving to the front. Yeah, they're set up. They're set up. So,
and plus they got their young crew back.
They got their entire crew back, and they're going to do nothing but keep adding it with multiple first round draft picks every year, which is
they can trade them. That's crazy. They can trade to get another piece.
Why trade them? You don't need another piece. Your team is already at a superstar caliber team. They're already scoring more points than anyone else. Why bring in the new young guys and try to see what happens?
Because you can't get all no picks. You're going to have to trade some of them.
Man, you keep them. You play chess. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yep.
You can put people on the roster.
Yeah, they're gonna have some some players on their D-League winning D-League championships that should be on the main roster.
Right.
So really quick, early prediction for the finals. Who you got?
OKC and Cavs.
OKC Cavs. I'm right there with you. Hopefully the Cavs can muster this up and really take control of their game, and we don't see the injuries we've been seeing. But with that being said, we are heading towards the end of our show. Kellz, has been great with you. Been great talking to you. You know, I'm glad to come in and enjoying what it's like to be on the EnDaZone Sports. You know, this is my first time without Spivey, and I don't have to argue with nobody. So I got to say this on air before he cuts us off. 1-3 seems pretty rough in fantasy. It seems pretty rough. And you facing Kellz, and that's all I'm going to say. Good luck. Good luck to you. But it's been real. It's been fun. I am the DAVID, the real Ruiz. And this was Kellz the Truth here on EnDaZone Sports on the Diva Spivey Media Network. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
I was 1-3 last year.
We ain't talking about last. He had to type that out before he put the outro in. That's what it is.
Right,
He didn't want the show to end on that note.
Oh, that.
Like the Cavs, we gotta let them know. They got it with a ship for being headed. They got it with a ship for being headed. Like the Cavs, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.